Yo, what's up guys? Demo here. Welcome to Season 2, Week 7 of the MTBA. I am your coach of the Psychic type team, the Tennessee Tyrants, and this week we're up against the Water type team, the Weatherford Wingles, coached by LonelyManiac, who's had a pretty respectable season so far. Right now he's 3-3, and currently we are going into this match 6-0. So we're looking pretty good this season. We're having a pretty strong season so far, but you might notice something different about the way that we're doing this video. From this week moving forward, at least until the playoffs, we're probably not going to be doing a team builder. This match moving forward, my last couple of games are playoff contending coaches, and it's looking like I'm going to be playing them twice in a pretty close proximity, so I would like to keep my specific sets, at least my EV spreads, pretty closed off if I can. So, this week we have Scarf Latias with Healing Wish. We also have a sub bulk up Mega Gallade, and a Cobra Bear and Mew hazard stacking with Volt Switch. My main thing with this, I will tell you about this strategy. Hazard stacking is insanely effective against his team, especially considering it's a Psychic versus Water matchup, because he does have the Tentacruel for the Rapid Spin, but it's pretty unlikely that he would bring it to this game. So we did bring a Volt Switch because his only removal for us is Defog, and once we start stacking hazards, it's going to be pretty likely that he's going to switch out into Pelipper. Or that was really the plan with this Mew set, because if we click Volt Switch on an incoming Pelipper, trying to get rid of the hazards, then it'll be O-code, and then he won't have any removal for the rest of the game. So that was kind of my plan with that. And we just have a sub Calm Mind Tapu Lele. There was kind of a hole in the prep here. We put Grass Knot on the set where we should have put Energy Ball, but no harm, no foul. We kind of learn from mistakes as we go, but then we do have a defensive Cobra Berry Slowbro, so pretty standard. Slowbro is really great for our monotype team with the Cobra Berry, so there's no point in not running it. And then our last Pokemon is our Slowking Galar, just crazy bulky mon, and based on the damage calcs, it's pretty obvious that we're running AV this week. So yeah, we're running an AV Slowking again. Looking at this matchup, I expected everything except the Politoed. I really expected like a bulky Dragon Dance Mega Gyarados, because it really just went through my team, but he ended up not bringing the Gyarados, which was extremely surprising. And we kind of under prepped for the Politoed as well, so you'll see in this match, but we're gonna go ahead and get started with the first turn. So he leads off with the Politoed, which was kind of what I didn't want, just because I didn't really know exactly what he was gonna bring for it, and kind of based on the comp, I was expecting it to be an offensive Seismitoad and like defensive Pelipper and maybe like a Crocoon set, because those kind of did a lot. I didn't really know what he was going to bring with Politoed, maybe like a Restock set. I was thinking that at this point. But we are just going to go ahead and taunt this thing so it can't do whatever it wants, and it kind of just has to attack. And then we do get up our rocks for free. He just clicks Scald, and that Scald is doing a lot, and we just go ahead and get up one layer of T-Spikes. And at this point, I do expect him to switch out into the Pelipper, just because that is going to be his hazard removal, or it's literally his only hazard removal on this team. So we are going to go for the Volt Switch here, but instead of catching the Pelipper, we arguably catch an even better Mon, the Barraskewda. And at this point, we do swap out into our Slowbro, but Barraskewda can't come back in unless he goes into Pelipper and gets rid of the rocks. Especially after poison damage, he kind of just has to either sack this thing off or switch out into Pelipper and try to get rid of his hazards. But catching this thing is absolutely phenomenal. It removes a lot of offensive pressure from his team, which was something that I kind of struggled to deal with. This turn, he clicks Crunch and we eat that up with the Cobra Berry, and I was contemplating switching out, but there's no point when Slowbro can just eat it. But we do click Body Press and just get the KO. Theoretically, we could have teleported out as well, but there was kind of no point. Politoed comes back in and is probably going to try to click Perish Song again, and that's exactly what happens. So Politoed comes in, clicks Perish Song. It is going to take a round of poison damage, which is pretty nice, because I'm trying to get that thing as low as possible, because I'm not really sure how I want to deal with it. But the Seismitoad comes in, him predicting me to Volt Switch again, which was actually a pretty good play on his part, but I do predict that, and I do kind of misplay here because I could have gotten up that second layer of T-spikes, but instead I opt to go for the taunt. And there was really no point in clicking taunt there, but we do get up our T-spikes anyways, as he just KOs us with a knockoff, gets a crit, but you know, crit didn't matter. We were at like 1 HP, so. But at this point we come in with our Latias, and I will say this Latias is designed to outspeed a like a neutral speed, max speed Seismitoad in the rain. So this turn he does reveal to be more than likely Jolly, and we do click Grass Knot, and he does reveal to be Rindoberry, but it doesn't matter because he dies to poison. Obviously Politoed comes out, and he does reveal to be what I assumed at the time to be a Rest Talk set, but with the Chesto, I mean, there's kind of really no telling, but he just starts spamming Scald, trying to get burns on stuff, which is really annoying because it means I can't really freely switch into Gallade because he could burn it. But here we do click Teleport and go out into the Gallade, and at this point I am going to try to sub up, and the Scald breaks the sub, which is kind of inconvenient, which means we can't, I mean, it means we can't 1v1 with Scald and stuff like that. And here I do kind of misplay. He kind of outplays me here. I expect him to just click Scald again, so instead of clicking sub like I should have, I just try to get some chip off, and that kind of bites me in the ass here. So you'll see I just click Leaf Blade, and then he reveals the counter, which instead of a Rest Talk set, he reveals to be just Resto Chesto, no Rest Talk, and clicks counter. So that really caught me off guard. Kind of a hole in my prep on my part, but you know, I can't blame anybody but myself. So, but then we just go into Tapu Lele and try to just go into sub and just start setting up, but he does capitalize on that and clicks the Perish Song, which is kind of inconvenient. So it's just kind of a null couple of turns, but at this point I'm realizing that, or this is when I realized I definitely should have carried Energy Ball over Grass Knot, because Energy Ball would have killed there. Grass Knot did substantially less damage given the weight of Politoed, so that did kind of suck, but I mean, I also have myself to blame there, so you kind of just learn in retrospect. So it do be like that sometimes. But at this point it's looking pretty bad because I can't really deal with the Politoed super well. But we are just gonna start just getting chip on stuff until the Perish Song is gonna kill us basically, and then we switch out into our Slow King just to kind of gauge what kind of Suicune set this is. We do know that we can beat it with Tapu Lele because it does have Psyshock over Psychic, in case it does want to like rest up or anything. But the reason we went out to Slow King here was to just scout to see what move it would go to, and given that we are AV, there's not really anything it could have done to damage us, because we could literally just take anything and then just switch out to handle it. But he does just start Shadow Ball spamming here, as we do just take it out with the toxic damage from the T-spikes. Then Politoed comes back out, and at this point I do just set up a Future Sight, just because that damage on top of the other moves from one of my other Pokemon is all but guaranteed to get a kill somewhere. And he does miss the Hydro Pump, which is kind of unfortunate, but we did invest at least a little bit specially just so Slowbro could deal with his special threat, specifically a Choice Specs Kingdra. It'd be able to take it'd be able to take 3 from full. So we did prep for that, and I mean, with this body press on top of the Future Sight, there was pretty much no way he was going to live. But Pelipper does come out, and he does reveal to be an offensive Pelipper here, which is really nice because that means that he doesn't have defog. But I didn't mention this, but like whenever I expected the Pelipper to be heavy duty boots, so it could switch in freely on the Stealth Rocks, but obviously he was revealed not to be. And after the match he did reveal to be Choice Scarf, but we didn't know that at the time. So so we kind of just start clicking moves like Psyshock, Future Sight, just so we can figure out how to deal with this Politoed, and we do end up getting the KO because our opponent definitely struggled to break through the defensive core of Slowbro and Slow King in this matchup, and not being able to just kind of made the difference in this match. But he is just going to click knock off, get rid of our AV, and we're just going to click power gem here just to knock out the Pelipper, and that's game.